is high. Deuce is low. Ball is right. And win the dough on Card Shark.
And here's the host of the show, Alex Paris.
Thank you very much. What a great group you guys are today, as always. Thank you very much. Thanks, Gerald. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Card Sharks, a game of decisions where you can win a fortune on a turn of a single card. We already dealt out the cards for today's show, and let's meet our two Card Sharks. It's Mr. Nick Bishop from DeForest, Wisconsin. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
That's great. He's our current champion who has $7,200 in his wallet. Oh, and looks like we got one of his friends, Elmer Fudd.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing, Elmer?
I'm doing great.
Did you find
Can't
the
wait
rabbit?
to win some more cash, win on the Card Sharks, and then I'm gonna hunt me that screwy rabbit afterwards.
I was just about to ask. Are you still hunting for that dwedded rabbit?
Oh, you bet I am. He's been screwing me for years now.
I
I'm getting
bet.
tired of it.
So, Nick, tell us a little bit about yourself if the folks have not tuned into Card Sharks yet.
Well, for me personally, I am an absolute package handler at FedEx Ground, which I basically load the trucks. And my favorite hobbies, as usual, is like to draw some cartoons and do some voice impressions and wrenching and maintaining my car. Not that it's a hobby, but
I think it's a great hobby.
Yeah.
And speaking of cars, if you could win 4 more games, you'll retire as champion and go home with this brand new Chevy Silverado. And Harold, tell us about that Chevy Silverado.
It's the 2016 Chevy Silverado 1500 LS. Comes with standard equipment, 2-wheel drive, 6-speed automatic transmission, and a 4.3-liter V6 engine. This truck is worth $30,810.
That's a nice truck, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
Yes, it is. It's got a blue color to it, too. And
Favorite color.
That's great. And Kevin Henry, how you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very well. He's one of our loyal L4GS TV and Game Show Entertainment fans.
Absolutely. Big fan. Great work.
Thank you very much. We're delighted to have you here on Card Sharks.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Kevin Henry. I'm 32 years old, and I live near Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been a truck driver for 11 years, and I was a small market radio personality for 5 years before that. I've been a game show aficionado since I was a little boy. In my spare time, I enjoy gaming, singing, Texas Hold'em, and being a father.
That's very nice to hear. You almost do the same things I like to do on my spare time. In my spare time, when I'm not working or doing videos, I just like to game and just do what entertains me.
Sounds great. That's what it's all about.
Yep. So you both cut the cards?
We sure did.
Then let's play Card Sharks. The first question of Game 1 will go to the champion, and that will be Nick.
All right.
All right.
Good luck, Nick.
Thank you.
This is an educated guess, Nick. How many pounds does the average kindergartner weigh? How many pounds does the average kindergartner weigh?
Wow. I'm gonna say 40.
40 pounds, you say? Kevin, do you think that's higher or lower than 40?
I'm going to say just a little bit lower. I think Nick's in the right area, but I'm going to go a little lower.
You say a little bit lower.
Yes, sir.
Well, I will tell you that the actual answer is 46. It's not lower, it's higher. You were pretty close, Nick.
All right.
All right. Here's the first card. It's the Jack.
Lower.
Lower than the Jack. It is a 5.
Higher.
He's a gambler. Higher than a 5 and 8.
Oh my. Lower?
Big gamble. Lower than an 8. No, the King. Dang. All those cards are gone. You go back to your base card, and Kevin gets a free shot, and that's an ace.
Let's go lower, Alex.
Let's go lower. It is a 5.
Let's go higher, Alex.
Higher than the 5. No, a 3. also
Bummer.
go back to your base card. We have to fill out those cards. And Kevin, once I'm done filling these cards in, the second question goes to you. And
All
now
right.
here's the second question. We asked 100 Catholic priests, if a prisoner willed his ill-gotten estate to church, would you accept it? How many of these priests said they would accept it?
Well, being a Catholic myself, I know that it's about atonement in the Catholic Church, and I believe that would be a high number among priests. But given we've asked 100 people here, or you have, I should say, I'm going to say 75 at least.
You say 75 out of 100 Catholic priests.
Yes, sir.
Nick, do you think that's higher or lower than 75?
Let's try lower.
Let's try lower. The actual number of Catholic priests say that if a prisoner had willed his ill-gotten estate to church, they would accept it is 55. It is lower.
Wow.
Yep, almost in the middle. All right, Nick, you have a jack. Would you like to keep it or change it?
I'm gonna keep it and go lower.
Lower than the jack, it is a 7.
Lower?
Oh, big gamble. Lower than a set. No, a queen. It's not lower, it's higher. Whoops, I almost filled his cards with blue ones. All right, you have an ace, Kevin.
But let's go lower.
Of course, lower than an ace, a 9.
Freeze.
All right, he's going to freeze on a 9. That becomes his new base card. And Nick, this third question goes to you. We asked 100 single men, would you go with your date even if you pay half the restaurant bill? How many of these single men said yes, they would? You there?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Let's go lower.
Oh no, this question goes to you.
Oh, sorry.
Never had that
Okay.
happen on Card Sharks.
Well, there goes the bloopers. So
Yep.
Do you remember what game we're playing?
yes.
Family Feud.
What? There's no Steve Harvey here. We don't have a board. The only board we have is a Card Sharks board.
Okay.
What do you say, Nick?
Well, I rarely even see that or hear that it happen, but let's go ahead and try 25.
25, you say? I would have paid the whole bill because you gotta be respectful to your lady. Do you think that's higher or lower than 25, Kevin?
Well, I would say that it depends on the guy and his personal preferences, whether he's old-fashioned, whether he still believes in chivalry or what have you. A lot of dates nowadays are Dutch treat, and most of the time, I believe men still pay for the whole bill. But the question was, would he go if they were going to pay half the bill? I think it's got to be higher.
It's gotta be higher, but let's find out if it actually is higher. I'll personally agree with Kevin, but let's see what it says here. The actual number of single men said that they would go on a date even if you would pay half of the restaurant bill is 28. It's slightly higher.
Just higher.
Yeah, by 3.
Higher's higher.
Yep, higher's higher. All right, you have the 9. Would you like to keep it or change it?
I would like to change that card, please.
All right, the 9 becomes an... Oh, it's an 8. Bad change.
Let's go against the odds and go higher.
Against the odds, higher than an 8? Yes, an ace.
Lower.
Lower than an ace, it is a 2.
For the win, higher.
It's a 5. First game, $500. You took the words right out of my mouth, and I don't mind that.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Here at Game Show Entertainment, we don't mind if you take the words right out of our mouths. We can accept it. Alright, so you got $500, and if you win one more game, you'll have $1,000 total and play the money cards for $40,000. We're going to take a short commercial break to see if this will be make or break for Nick Bishop. We'll be right back after these words. Alright, we're back for our second game of Card Sharks, which Kevin has already won the first game. We already dealt out brand new decks of cards, and Kevin, this first question of Game 2 will go to you.
All right, sir.
We asked 100 marriage counselors. If a bride is nervous about her honeymoon, is it a good idea to bring her mother along? How many of these counselors say yes, that it's a good idea to bring her mother along?
Oh boy. Well, I'm happily divorced. To bring mother along, to be honest with you, all joking aside, I would think that if you're a marriage counselor, if you got to talk to a marriage counselor even before you get married, I think that's a problem in itself. But it's a first experience, a very important step for a young husband and a young wife, or any age for that matter. So I've got to say that's a low number, and I would say 21.
21 out of 100 marriage counselors say it's a good idea to bring their mother along.
Yes, sir.
Nick, do you think that's higher or lower than 21?
Let's try a slight bit higher.
A slight bit higher. You're going to be surprised about this answer. The actual number of marriage counselors say that it's a good idea to bring her mother along is nothing. It's lower.
I should have stuck with 0.
Was that your first guess?
I didn't want to be sarcastic, and I don't often hear about numbers being 0 on this game.
Well, you got to remember this. We got to take your first answer.
Hey, I'm good, though. I won the question, so hey.
But yeah. That's more important. And your first card is an ace again. Wow.
Oh, gee. Let's go lower.
Let's go lower than an ace. It is the king.
Ooh, big slip. Let's go lower.
Lower than the king, it is a 9.
And we will breathe.
All right. That was a good play of the cards. The 9 becomes his new base card. And Nick, the second question will go to you.
Okay.
We asked 100 housewives. Do you clean the house better for your company than you do for your family? How many of these housewives they do clean better for the company other than their home?
I'm gonna have to say 80 on that one.
80. That's a high number. Kevin, do you think that's higher or lower than 80?
I agree with Nick. There seems to be a lot more at stake when, in the mind of a housewife when they're cleaning, as far as it being presentable for your friends and your relatives. But I've got to go with the odds on this one and say lower.
You're going to say lower.
Yes, sir.
The actual number of housewives say that they clean their house better than they do for the company than they do it for their family is 42. It's a lot lower.
Much lower.
All right, you have a terrible card, the 9. Would you like to keep it or change it?
Well, I would like to change that terrible card if you don't mind.
I will be happy to do so. It's a 3.
Now let's go higher.
Higher than a 3, it is a 4.
For the championship, let's go higher.
You're the new champion.
All right.
$1,000 total.
Great game, sir.
Great game, Kevin.
That was a great game there, Nick. Spend your $7,200 wisely.
I will.
All
Maybe
right.
I'll put some good investment into it.
All right. And Kevin, congratulations. How does it feel to be the new champion?
Oh, it feels great. I'm having a great time with you guys.
All right. What are you going to do with $40,000 if you win it?
Well, I would like to be a spoiling father a little bit. Christmas will be coming up around the corner. I would like to do some donations if I could.
Very good. All right. Are you ready to play?
I am.
Take a look at the money cards. All right, the $1,000 you won in the game is yours to keep no matter what happens. We're going to give you new money and new cards, and this time you're going to bet that money. You're going to start on the bottom row with $200, 3 cards on the bottom line, bet that as you will. Move up to the second row, we'll give you $900 more and 3 more cards. Keep in mind that your minimum bets are $50 till you get up to the final card, the big bet, where you must bet at least half of your money. And you don't lose on the double, we'll just carry your bet over. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Not at all.
$200, please.
Thank you.
And let's see what your first card is. It's an ace.
All of it lower.
All of it lower, of course. It's a 5. I just want to let everybody know I did shuffle these cards. So you have $400 and a 5.
Let's go all of it higher.
Oh my goodness, all of it higher than a 5. It is? Oh, it's a 4. Unfortunately, you busted on the first level, but you're not out of it yet because we're going to move you up to the next level and give you $900. You have $900 in the 4.
Let's go 400 higher.
Alright, he's going to go $400, playing it safe. Higher than the 4. Yes, it's a 7.
Can I change that, please?
Yes, you may. You have $1,300, and the card you'll now play is another 4.
Let's go 700 higher.
$700. Higher than the 4? Yes, it's a 9.
Let's go 200 higher.
Oh, that's against the odds. $200. Higher than a 9? Yes, it's a 10. $2,200. We're going to move the 10 up to the big bet. Do you want it?
Let's change it, please.
Alright. I should remind you, you must bet at least $1,100 on a turn of this card. It's a 5.
We'll go one half higher.
$1,100. Come on. Higher than a 5? Yes, it's a 10. $3,300.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And the $1,000 from the earlier game, you have a total of $4,300.
Yeah, that's a great comeback.
It is a good comeback. Well, this is your first day as champion.
I'm looking forward to playing again.
And I'm glad, and we'll look forward to that as well. And if you can win 4 more, you'll win that Chevy Silverado.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. That's all the time we have here on Card Sharks. Join us next time where Kevin Henry faces off a brand new challenger. From all of us here at GSC, good day.
This is Gerald Hill speaking for Card Sharks, a game show entertainment production.